What's up, guys? Bailey here. Today in this video, I'm going to be going over the fights that have been announced for Thanksgiving. I hope your guys' Thanksgiving was very festive, very special. Sorry if I sound a little nasally. I am a little sick. I've been trying to fight it off for the past couple days, but I'm going to record. I'm going to basically just talk about these fights that have been made. We have some real stacked fights. In another video, though, I'm going to be kind of going over the climate of the UFC, and I'm going to kind of talk about it here in this video as well. And yeah, I'm not going to waste any of your guys' time. Make sure to like and subscribe for more content, and let's dive right in. All right, so first major fight, we got Paddy Pimblett versus Justin Gaethje for the interim lightweight belt. So Ilia Topuria said that he's not going to fight in the first quarter of next year due to some issues he's having. Probably issues that involve his family, just very personal things. Yeah, that kind of is setting the stage for this fight. Now, these are the main narratives and main things that we're thinking of heading in, right? Is Justin Gaethje washed? Now, it's one thing to be out of your prime. It's another thing to be washed, right? We all know Justin Gaethje obviously isn't in his prime anymore, right? I mean, we look at his last fight against Fiziev, right? And we see like his prime performances against Dustin, Chandler, obviously fights like that. And we look at that and we're like, well, hey, is Justin washed, right? Is he washed? Is he at the point where he can't even hang anymore, right? And furthermore, right, did Paddy earn this title shot, right? I mean, I think we're all kind of forgetting about Arman Tsarukyan, right? He just beat Dan Hooker via submission. But man, listen, Arman just got completely left out. And Paddy did beat a number 7th ranked Michael Chandler to virtually get this title shot. I gotta be real, I don't think Paddy earned it. I low-key think that he got the easiest route in the hardest division, if that's even possible, which it somehow is. Listen, it's a great fight either way. I think it would have happened regardless. I think that if you wanted to line it up the way that it was originally lined up to be, where you had Arman Tsarukyan versus Ilia Topuria for the lightweight title, yeah, you were going to have Paddy fighting Gaethje, right? You were going to have those two, so then you can have a number 1 contender, right? Or a title eliminator, right? Unfortunately, that's not what's going to happen. Here we are going to see someone get a guaranteed title shot, right? I mean, the winner of this, Gaethje or Paddy. And yeah, but the main reason why that they are making this fight is it's what's going to put butts in seats. And I think that we're all forgetting about the fact that the UFC, it's a business, right? And I'm not saying I agree with this point of view. And I'm not saying, listen, as a fan, I want to see the number 1 fight the number 1. I want to see the top guys fight the champions. I want to see the real fights that are made, right? And the real fight that should be made is Arman versus Ilia. But unfortunately, I don't think too many people really know who Arman Tsarukyan is, right? I think that if you kind of went around on the streets a little bit more and you're like, you know, hey, who do you know? Paddy Pimblett or Arman Tsarukyan? Everybody knows Paddy Pimblett. I mean, and I think that's the whole point of why they made this fight. And yeah, and on top of that, we got, you know, like I said, the winner of this fighting Ilia, right? And that's a really big thing. That's obviously why this fight is being made. But furthermore, we have this fight. You know, we got Nunes versus Harrison. Some people are speculating that the reason why that they wanted this to really be an interim title fight is because they didn't want this as the main headline of the card. And on paper, this is the greatest women's MMA fight, right? I mean, outside of like Zhang and Joanna Jędrzejczyk, or, you know, maybe Holly Holm and Rousey, right? Where Holm just starched her shit, or, you know, things outside of that. This might be the greatest fight for women on paper. I actually think that this is single-handedly going to like revive women's MMA. I think that they could have gotten away with this being for the main event. I don't really think that they had to do this whole thing where it was like Gaethje, Paddy up on the main event and then they're down here below. I think this is a perfect main eventer. I think that this could sell out. Everybody knows who Amanda Nunes is. Everybody knows who Kayla Harrison is. And if you really want to talk about putting asses in seats, this fight will do it. If your ass isn't in a seat, well, then your ass is grass, okay? Because you're a fucking casual. If you don't know who Nunes is, you're a hermit living under a rock. And if you don't know who Harrison is, I mean, I still can't bail you out, brother. Still can't do that, okay? This fight is going to be awesome. It's going to be a banger. I'm kind of leaning towards Harrison on this one just because she seems, size-wise, probably the biggest person that Nunes has fought, right? And on top of that, she's just been more active. She's been just more out there. Yeah, so moving on, we got this right here, man. we got Volk versus Lopez 2. Let's get into this. Now listen, I love both of these guys, but no one called for this fight at all. No one called for this. No one thought this was going to happen. I certainly did not think this was going to happen. And Volk, in the first fight, he definitively beat Lopez. Definitively beat him, like 4-1. I mean, I know it was a fun fight, and it was a scrap, and it was just a war. But at the end of the day, Volk beat him. And if we're looking at this as kind of like his retirement fight, because that's what is being rumored, is that, he's going to fight, because since it's in Australia, and he's going to retire. I wanted to see him fight maybe someone like Movsar Evelev, right? Maybe Lerone Murphy. I'm going to kind of get into why in another video as to why Lerone Murphy and Movsar Evelev got skipped. But in short, no one knows who they are. And that's kind of the sad thing about it. No one fucking knows who Movsar Evelev is. And he's the #1 ranked dude. I literally made a video talking about the featherweight problem, talking about how these contenders virtually didn't earn a title shot. Do I think Lerone Murphy legitimately earned a title shot after starching Aaron Pico? No, because he wasn't even in the UFC. It was his debut. He wasn't ranked. Now, if Lerone Murphy fought Lopez, which should have happened, and he beat Lopez, I'd be like, oh, okay, now you earned a title shot. And on top of that, at the end of the day, we're looking at two guys. They're not from America. Now, we're going to sit here and say, well, oh, Diego Lopez is an American. Almost every American knows who Diego Lopez is, right? UFC Noche twice, and his fights with Volk. I mean, he's awesome, right? He's awesome. No one knows who Movsar Evelev is. Hardly anybody really knows who Lerone Murphy is. It's a popularity issue, and unfortunately, that's why they got jumped in short, right? They got jumped because of the popularity. I got to go with Volk on this one. Even though it was a war, I just don't think that the fight with Silva was like enough to kind of give him the experience he needed. And Silva wasn't even a contender. He was like 12th ranked, I think. So at the end of the day, I got to go with Volk again to take the win. I love Lopez. It's going to be a fun fight. It's going to be a banger fight because you're putting into some of the best featherweights in. But at the end of the day, it literally is a popularity contest. All right, next, we actually got a pretty good matchup here. We got Yadong Song versus Sean O'Malley. This is actually going to be a good fight, and I think this fight makes 100% sense. I think it's going to be great striking from both, as they're both primarily strikers. It's going to be an exciting fight. Not really too much to say about it up until my predictions for the fight itself. I think O'Malley is going to win. I think that even though O'Malley is, we're all looking at him as, oh, he's done, he's washed. He's fought the GOAT, okay, twice, and he lost, and that's okay. His weakness is grappling. But now that he's facing a striker, I really feel like this is going to be in O'Malley's realm. And yeah, really not too much to say about that. I think this is a great fight. Next, we got Waldo Cortez Acosta versus Derek Lewis. Happy to see that the heavyweight division is actually moving forward, and Cortez is showing activity, which is something I really, really like, especially in the heavyweight division where it's been quite contrary to that, where there's been no activity or really anything at all. I would like to see this. And this could potentially be maybe a title eliminator. Now, people are saying, well, whoa. Derek Unk Lewis for the title? He's number 8 ranked. We don't care. Literally, no one gives a fuck about the heavyweight division anyways right now. We need names. We need something. We fucking need anything. We need anything, okay? No one gives a fuck about the heavyweight division. No one cares about the heavyweight, no one cares what's going on. If Derek Lewis beats him and gets a title shot, that literally would probably be the best thing to happen to the division, and that's kind of sad to say. I'll tell you that. That's kind of fucked up. But you know what? If he gets a title shot, or if Waldo Cortez Acosta gets a title shot, the division is moving forward, and that's something that needs to be happening. And yeah, I'm glad to see it, especially from the disappointing event that was Tom Aspinall and Ciryl Gane, where it wasn't even a fight. It was less than a round. So yeah, moving on. We got Arnold Allen versus Jean Silva. I thought Arnold Allen was moving up to lightweight. I guess that's not happening, or right now it's not. It's a tough fight for both, especially because this is Jean Silva's bounce back from his loss against Diego Lopez at Noche. It was a big check. It was a big check. I thought that Lopez was going to win simply because the step up in competition was way too big. It's way too big. So I think that at the end of the day, Jean Silva could beat Allen, especially if Allen's already looking to move up in weight. I just don't see I guess maybe if Jean Silva is a little too aggressive, like how he was against Lopez, that's really the only way he can lose, is just by being too aggressive. And I think it's going to be a great, great fight. Next, we got Alex Grasso versus Rose Namajunas. This is without a doubt going to be #1 contender match for the flyweight. Listen, Valentina Shevchenko, this is going to be for her. And listen, is Rose Namajunas washed? Now, I know that Rose Namajunas, in the last fight, she beat Miranda Maverick. I think she was ranked 11. And I just think that, especially in women's MMA, it's kind of hard to sit and be like, well, hey, we can have the 11th ranked person fight the number 6th ranked person, or the competition is just too far. The gap is too big. I think the gap between these guys is huge. I got Grasso winning. I just think that she's a bit more of in her physical prime. Rose Namajunas kind of seems to be on the decline. It seems like her better days are behind her. I'm not saying she's not high level. I just don't think that she is able to kind of endure and weather the storm as easy as Alex Grasso. Yeah, so I got to go with Alex Grasso. So yeah, guys, hope you enjoyed this little analyzation video of these big stacked fights that were announced. You know, is it stacked or is it popularity? Who knows? Let me know in the comments down below what you guys think about these fights, and I'll see you guys in the next video when I make one. Peace.